everybody, I'm Nora Burrows. I just got these 2 layer cakes and I had an idea for a quilt using them. They're different layer cakes, but they're both Ruby Star Society, so I thought that they would complement each other well. So I had this idea. It's not from a pattern, it's just kind of something in my head that I wanted to try. I thought you might want to join me for the process. So let's take a look at the fabric, because I think that these are pretty new lines, so you can probably still get these in your local quilt shop, or I got these at the Fat Quarter Shop. At the time they were on sale, but I'm not sure that they're on sale now. But we can take a look at the fabrics, and then let me show you what I'm thinking for this quilt. This first layer cake is called Sunbeam. Again, it's from the Ruby Star Society. And I remember that there are lions in this layer cake. Let's see, this first one is a lion. And that is kind of what drew me to this fabric line, because I think that they're super cool. So let's quickly just flip through. We have a lot of kind of golds. Here's a floral, geometric. There's gonna be a lot of geometrics in here. This one is gonna be really cool. So I'm kind of thinking that this, okay, so this one is these female faces, and I actually purchased this piece in a different colorway that I used in a video called Migrating Geese. It's a video that shows you how to make migrating geese, which are different than flying geese. Anyway, I want this to be more of kind of a gender neutral quilt, so I probably will take this piece out and not use the female faces, though I think it's a super cool print. This one's a really cool one too, isn't it? Here's some birds. The tiger in a different colorway. And there's a lot of like, here's the female faces again, so I'll take that out and use that in a different project. Here's a white on white, kind of that sunburst shape, the confetti, and this beautiful pop of pink. So I'm gonna use the pop of pink, even though I want this to be a gender neutral quilt. I think that this kind of, neon pink is really cool and can be for any kind of baby. So we'll leave that in there. I think I'm gonna leave that in there at this point. And then this one doesn't really feel like it goes with the rest of the line to me. It just feels more like soft and pastel and delicate. So I think I probably will not use this one either. This one almost looks like the back of the fabric, doesn't it? Okay, so here's the black and whites, which I think are so cool, and I would love to go back and actually get some of these black and whites in yardage, but I'm not sure, even though this line is not super old, it's also not totally new, so I'm guessing that they're gonna be out of a lot of these prints. Here's the white on white bird. Here it is in pink. This is a little more pastel-y, so I'm not 100% sure about using the more pastel. I think that the neon one is super cool, but we'll have to see. Again, I'll probably take this floral out, though I think it's really beautiful. I'm not sure it goes. And then this again kind of feels like the back of the fabric to me. I'll scooch this over. So I don't have to use all of these. This is kind of the confetti on cream. I love this color, kind of this. It's not even a burnt orange. It's like kind of a burnt, I don't know, like pink. All right, so that's that. Now let's look at the other one. The other one is called Honey. And you'll notice that it's a little bit different in its colorway, but it's also similar in that, it has kind of these same browns. It has some of these kind of neon-y colors. So I probably won't be able to use all of this. Like this blue probably won't go, but I don't know, maybe it will. Let's see. But let's see what this looks like. Cheater print. This is like a granny square kind of thing. Looks like an Afghan of some kind. Floral, again, these are kind of a little more delicate, but this will go well, I think. This one that kind of almost looks 70s like. The mushrooms are so cool. Mushrooms I'll definitely use. That has the neon in it. The yellow flowers. Pink flowers. Let's see what this pink looks like compared to the other neon pink, if it's the same tone. Yeah, it's pretty close. That'll be cool. And then this one's cool. Same colorway, different pattern. There's the mushrooms again. Love the checkerboard. I would love some yardage of this. I love checkerboards in general. Polka dot, flower. Oof, that's so cool. I love that. There's the granny squares. And here's a cheater print in kind of more lighter or softer tones, I should say. Ooh, and the black and white. Love these black and whites. These will go really well with the black and whites from this line over here. So I think these are going to go really well. So now we're getting into, I'm not so sure about these blues. They might work and they might not. And if they don't, that's okay. I'll just use them in another project. There's the cheater print. I think this is the black and white. Yeah, so that'll work well. And then the yellow will work well. This is just like little plus signs. It's an orange. This will work. And then in the blue. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, take out all the whites and blacks. I am going to use the whites and blacks in this project, but I'm going to separate them out and then come up with a plan. I've separated out the packs and I actually took out a lot more than I initially thought that I was going to. These are kind of the primary prints that I'm going to use here. Then I have these down here that I'm going to use that are all kind of these pops of color on the white background. I have the whites, which I'm going to use, and then the blacks. Now this over here is a pile of the first pack that I'm not going to use. And then here is a pile of the second pack that I'm not going to use. So maybe I can even do a second project with those leftovers because there are a lot of leftovers, or I may need to integrate some of these pieces back into this quilt. We will see. I can also use some of the yardage and scraps that I already have on hand from other projects. Layer cakes, as I should have mentioned, are made up of 10-inch squares. So I've layered 3 10-inch squares on top of each other here, and I've lined them up right on my yellow lines. The first thing I'm going to do is count down 3 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4 actually, 4 inches, and put my ruler from the 4-inch down line, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to the corner of my layer cake and make a cut. Then I'm going to do the same thing up top. Count 4 over, 1, 2, 3, 4, and go from the 4 line down to my corner. Now I can mix these up, kind of like this, to make kind of an interesting block, like that. I'm going to do this for a bunch of them, and then you'll be able to see kind of where I'm going with this idea. I've cut out all my pieces enough to make 16 units. So this is what I consider to be 1 unit. These 3 pieces together here is 1 unit. So I cut enough to make 16. And next I'm going to sew these 3 pieces together. So I'll sew these right sides together and sew 1/4 inch and iron. Same to the other side. Sew them right sides together, 1/4 inch. Now when you sew them together, you do not want to sew them exactly end to end. You don't want to sew it exactly tip to tip like this. This is what you do not want to do because when you open it up, it's going to be a little bit funky. What you want to do is, let me show you. We'll take this piece for example. So this is in the same spot as this middle one. This is over here. I put them right sides together, but I shifted this right piece up about 1/4 inch. So you can see at the bottom, it's 1/4 above, and at the top, 1/4 above, so that when you open it up, it's a straight line. I'm gonna do that for all 16 units. Here are my units, my 16 units all sewn up. They're not sewn together, they're just still in this section of 3. I've also kind of experimented with using some of these blacks maybe to go all the way around. So you may be wondering how this works. Here is the unit that you recognize, and you just rotate. So this is going to be the new big block here. It's 4 of these together, and you just rotate it, rotate it, rotate it all the way around so that your skinny points are facing the center and your wide pieces are facing out. Then those 4 bigger blocks will come together to make this big unit. What I'm going to do now is sew these 4 pieces together and these 4 pieces together, those together, and those together. To do that, I'll sew right sides together 1/4 inch and open. Same with this, sew 1/4 inch and open. And then I'll have a section here and a section here, and I'll put these 2 together so that I'll have 1 block. These are now sewn into 4 separate units here, and I think this is looking pretty good. I'm very happy with it. I meant to mention that I trimmed down these units here, the ones that were the three pieces that looked like this. I trimmed these down to be 9 1/4. Now you could trim yours down to be exactly 9, which would make math a little bit easier going forward, but I wanted my pieces to be as big as possible, so they're 9 1/4. The next step would be now to sew these 4 pieces together, but I'm going to wait on that because I want to think about, I may want to do something to these individual blocks, and I would want to do that before I sewed them together. So this is where I'm going to end the video for today. I'm going to think through what I want to do next. Maybe add some of the black pieces around the outside, maybe just do a solid border and then add something outside of that. I'd like this to be a little bit on the bigger side, like a throw size. It's not going to be a baby quilt. I'd like it to be kind of a youth quilt. So we'll see where it goes from here. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.